AHR Vision. So it's the last day of the month for November, and I kind of just wanted to do like a quick update as well as talking a bit more about AHR Visions. Now, what makes AHR Visions this incredible journey for me was because of how it pretty much happened. I'm not sure if you caught basically kind of like a pretext to how it all really happened. I guess it was the comic book in the making. If you had seen my Father's Day episode, you definitely would have seen it. Now, to kind of give it a little bit more meat to the story, AHR Visions is a comic book company owned by Abdul Rashid. It's actually his initials, although I don't know what the H stands for. I can't even come up with something clever. But primarily this is pretty much what happened. I was actually attending New York Comic Con a couple of years ago. I was taken there as a gift by my best friend. Which, by the way, thank you, Ralph. So, he took me there. I was having like a rough time, so he was like, you know what, this will cheer her up. Let's take her to Comic-Con. So now he surprised me with these tickets. Now I'm thinking to myself, like, oh my God, this is my first New York Comic-Con. I finally get to go. And I don't have a costume? Like, I was really upset about that. So I was like, I need to figure something out. So he helped me get some costumes together. And one of the costumes I was supposed to be was Yoruichi in her battle form, and then Yoruichi in her princess form. And then the third one was actually going to be Harley Quinn. You know, the traditional 1940s cartoon one that everyone loves. But I think Arkham Asylum had just came out, and everyone was doing Harley Quinn. They were doing the Asylum Harley Quinn. They were doing the 40s Harley Quinn. They were doing their own version of like Harley was bigger than probably what she is this year. Like, that's how it was. Like, Harley's been building this up for a while before Suicide Squad. So what ended up happening is, because of where it was, he was like, you know, you're tiny, and like 5 million girls are gonna be dressed up as Harley Quinn. I'm gonna lose you. And I was like, oh man, good point. So I came up with my own little version of Harley Quinn, which I will present to you here. So that was basically my version of Harley Quinn, because I wanted to kind of just make, I guess, a steampunkish / Victorian / poor people's using what you got kind of like motive to come up with a costume. So once that was all done, I'll put that away. Wait. So basically what ended up happening is that I was walking by and I saw Abdul. Now, at the time, he was drawing for New Gen, which is another cool comic book with, you know, nanotech, with the nanobots and everything for like all that technology like to heal people. But somebody takes it the wrong way, you know, like some dude always does. So what ended up happening is he saw me and he kept staring at me. Now, here's the thing. I'm not very vain, so it's not like when he was staring at me, I was like, of course. Like, none of that goes through my head when I see some dude staring at me. My first thought is, why is he staring at me? Is he gonna come after me, and do I have to kill him? Like, I won't lie, those are genuinely what my thoughts are. So I see this big dude. I mean, I'm not like exaggerating when I say big dude. He's like, you know, like, he's like the black version of like Bruno, except not mean. He has like a Popeye heart, but the size of Bruno. Like, it's just, I'm just saying, like, he's a big guy. So, but he's like a giant teddy bear. It's really funny. Yes, Abdul, I'm making fun of you. So, what ended up happening is that he approaches me and he's like, you look like a character. You look like my character. And I'm like, me? And then I'm thinking to myself, what is this? I don't understand. And then I'm looking over at Ralph like, what language is he speaking? What's going on? And we end up exchanging information. I, honest to God, did not think much about it. I didn't. I was like, all right, got his business cards, another artist. Let me get to know here. Because it was my first year, so I was really excited. So I kept everything. I still have some stuff. So, I'm sorry, I'm sick. I always got my bottle of Theraflu. So what ended up happening is, I think like a couple of weeks down the line, I decided, let me just email this dude and kind of see what he's talking about, if he's real. Because I was skeptical. I was like, he's not for real. No way. So what ended up happening is, he tells me, no, I'm serious. I have a comic book. And he starts explaining to me about the comic book and how I look like the character he envisioned. And how he wanted me to do the modeling for it. And, you know, he has like I sent him my modeling pictures so he can craft how I genuinely look and put it into the comic book. So then I was thinking to myself, like, he almost sounds real. Like, I'm excited because on the phone it was funny because he's such a serious person and he laughs a lot when he's in person, and on the phone he's serious. He's so deadpan. He's so deadpan, but he laughs an awful lot if you pay attention. So he's on the phone like, you don't sound excited, and in my head I'm like, there was so much happening because I was just more or less like, is he for real? Is this real? And, you know, I had to kind of give him a reaction, like, so do you want to be in the comic book? And I'm like, what nerd doesn't want to be in a comic book and nonetheless star in it? That's when I did my hair whip. So we're on the phone, we started discussing, we started making more plans, right? So then he started sending me slowly sketches of what the character really looks like. And then that's when my excitement, like, really started spiking through the roof, and I was like, oh my God! What was interesting is the fact that it's taken some time, but I understood what my character is supposed to be about. Now, granted, I do have the background in martial arts from previously before, but I had never really studied Kung Fu. I had did a little bit of Shotokan karate, a touch, and I do mean just a touch of Muay Thai, and the only other person I knew who did Kung Fu was like an ex-boyfriend of mine, and he never wanted to teach me. He probably was scared I'd kick his butt. So anyways, I made the switch over into Kung Fu, and it took me a long time to like genuinely find a school that I liked. Because it wasn't just about the atmosphere, it wasn't just about the students. I needed to like the teacher. You're not gonna learn something if you and the teacher aren't like seeing eye to eye. It's not gonna happen. So I went to a bunch of other different schools, you know, would try different places, and then I finally found what's home, which is Eagle Claw for me. So part of the things to know about my character is, I'm trying to give like a summary without giving too much because I'm not supposed to. So what ended up happening is basically she's a cop, and you know, much like most Kung Fu movies, there's always some bad guy out to get something. So I'm doing my cop thing, right, and then I come across this criminal who's actually trying to get the book, the ultimate book. And in this book there's a heck of a lot of knowledge about martial arts, and you know, I can't have him have that. Like my hair pose, right? So basically it kind of just embarks me on this entire journey becoming the hero opposed to just being it already. It's kind of like watching Batman become Batman from a kid, in a sense, if I want to compare it to another comic so you get the idea. But all of the books are done like that. You don't just start off like, I'm super! Like, there's more to the origin, so you watch them develop and become the heroes that they are. So you kind of like get emotionally attached to them. So the character actually is very much based on me. I don't know, like personality wise, things that she does, the way she looks, is supposed to be based on me. So basically it's almost like an autobiography about my life, but it's not. I guess that's the best way to put it. I love this opportunity so much that I started taking the Kung Fu classes. I thought Shaolin was cool. I tried a little bit of Wushu. I butted heads with the teacher, and I just wasn't comfortable in the class, which is the most important thing. So I do find like sometimes if you go to certain Kung Fu schools, what ends up happening is they feel like Kung Fu is super tough, and they feel like they all gotta prove that they're Bruce Lee, and it's really weird. So instead of adjusting and working with the student, they would much prefer to either overwork you to death or not take you seriously because you're a female, or because you're female, say you should stick to Wing Chun because Wing Chun's made for women. And I'm like, yeah, that's funny because Bruce Lee kicked your butt with it. But anyways, so you know, there's a lot of like politics that happens with Kung Fu, and I was already kind of partially aware of it from taking karate. Especially once the Western culture processes the philosophy of Kung Fu, and they don't really truly process it. It's really weird. Not to say that there's no macho-ness in the Eastern world, but there is. It's just the way it's done differently. It's done a little Westerny. So I studied all these classes because I wanted to make sure. I didn't want to just be like some cheesy actress, like, all right, how you doing? You know, like that kind of thing. Like, I mean, I do a really good Kung Fu Barbie, but that's not the point. The point is, I wanted to make sure I wanted to be as true as I possibly could. And so I do have like this small little mixture of martial arts behind me, but it's all to back up the books. Now, my book is actually called Dynamic. It's supposed to be paying homage, you know, over to the rickshaw. the Shaw brothers. But it's basically to pay homage to all the great kung fu movies, which, by the way, I grew up loving. My favorite ones were always the one with the really bad extra in the background. You know, okay, wait, hold on. Right, so like he'd be fighting like ha ha ha, and then like he'd lose his arm, and then suddenly like out of here like there'd just be blood spewing. I'm not sure if you can picture the way like that's how it would look, and he would stay there for like 20 minutes. There's like a whole fight, so like, and then you see that one extra in the background like with his arm just like, I don't know how to die. I don't know how to die. Oh my god, I'm in the film. Like that. I love those. Those are like the best ones. And I also like those because you can actually see the forms. Like you can see like these are people who train. Like these aren't just some casual actors. But yeah. So along with Dynamic, a friend of mine, Pepe, she's hot. Oh my god. She's also taken. So, but she's drop dead gorgeous. She's a great actress, and her book is called Feral. We're actually going to be debuting a lot of books, and then we have, she's Asian, by the way, so we have actual official back history who wrote the book, by the way, Asian superhero, and then we also have a Latina. It's not her superhero is called Scorn, and she has a bit of a quite interesting way of kind of just taking down people. So we're supposed to be like the three main girls. So if you can zoom me here, I probably can't zoom because I don't know how to edit, but this is Pepe, this is Scorn, and this is me for Dynamic. So this is the three of us. So you have Feral, Scorn, and then Dynamic. We're the three leading ladies of AHR Visions. There are other books, you know, like Black Rose, which is like kind of like a twist on Batman. It's almost like Batman giving into his dark side, and I mean like in a sense that you don't have to like, you know, mess up Robin with a crowbar kind of anger. He's already there. This is also Rebirth, which is a sci-fi one, which looks super cool. There's also Bleed 2039, which is amazing, which is like a sci-fi kind of like noir kind of crime show kind of going on. It definitely can be a show because that thing looks addictive, and it runs on the style very similar to like Sin City. Everything's in black and white, and color has a purpose. That's another intense story. So of course, you know, I'm gonna put the website in the links in the description, but yeah, it's an incredible company, and primarily what Abdul wants to do is move forward with more female heroes, more, you know, strong women characters of people of all color. He doesn't care if you're white, you're green, you're pink, you're yellow. He does not care. He wants to have more heroes that stand out there. And that's one of the reasons why I love Zindan so much, because it came from another perspective, and I think, you know, we need more of that. You know, I'm not saying that I don't love, you know, Black Panther or Wonder Woman. They're great. And you know, and I think it's amazing, but there's a lot of stories that don't really get touched upon, you know, which they're starting to kind of just branch out too, or they tend to like take a regular hero that everyone loves and then they just change his race or background, which to me changes everything. You can't just make, you know, Spider-Man suddenly Spanish for no reason. You can't just make Batman into a random Asian dude. The reason why it doesn't work is because if you think about it psychologically, the way you were raised, your culture, your parents, your environment, as well as the essence that is naturally you, molds you to who you are. So each culture, each person, each parent is going to affect you differently, and as a character you start to develop as an actual person. Think of yourself. Think of all the things that you do because so-and-so did this, or someone broke your heart, you're a little hesitant to trust the next guy. Like, these are all things that mold you into who you are. So necessarily, if you became a superhero, it would happen because of what reason? You know? Uncle Ben? You know, you get what I'm saying here? So, I like the fact that they, you know, that they're willing to do other races and stuff like that, but I don't feel like we have that true enriched culture aspect coming from the characters, because you need to know why they do certain things. It's part of you. Like, for example, I could care less how people perceive me based on my ethnic background, but depending on who's looking at me, it changes on who I am. So my background is very mixed, and it kind of shows, because I don't really come off like, yo son, and I know it's obvious that I'm obviously just an Oreo, and I'm okay with that. But my exposure to the Spanish culture, to my Asian culture, to the Native American culture, to, I guess, white culture. I don't know. I mean, white people don't really have culture because it's like Irish is culture, Italian is culture, British is like culture. There's no, I mean, I guess European culture. Yeah, I'll say European culture. You know, that stuff all influenced me as I got older. So I have like tiny little weird habits. You know, I have little weird Asian habits. I have Spanish habits. I have where I run into another Native American and they're like, my sister, and I'm like, yeah, what up? And then my Asian comes out and I'm pink. But yeah, that's what influences me, and I can't change that because that essence is me. So if you were to create a book, if this was a book rather, and you were reading about me as a character, you would see where all these little elements, the things that happened to me as a child, the things that happened to me as an adolescent, as a teenager, as a baby, those things mold me. They always do. There's a part of you that's an essence of you, and then the rest of it is molded by society and your environment. And a good chunk of it also comes in from your genetics from both your parents. Now, that's just my personal opinion. So when I look at it from that perspective, I don't want to see a character being changed just to be black, just to make it a marketable, you know, character, and it sounds freaking great. Yeah, that's nice. But I want to know why he thinks that way. Why does he suddenly want to wear the Green Lantern ring? Why? What motivates him? I need to know. Otherwise, when I look at the character, I'm going to be like, there's no depth here. There's no depth. And that is actually where the money is. So it's one of the reasons why I'm so proud of standing behind AHR Visions, being one of their leading ladies, because he's going to come from another perspective that'll allow fans to feel the way I do about my character. And that's one of the things that I wanted to share with you guys. So that's a big insert of AHR Visions. When I do go on tour next year, again, you'll see more live video of us going on tour, we already hit Kamikaze. Just so you know, there's also Notorium by Terry Crews. He announced it last year at Kamikaze. We were all there. He's a big guy. He's a big guy. But yeah, he's a sweet guy, and I even got my sister involved. Whoop, 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 whoop. Which I'm excited about. But yeah, like, so Terry Crews is doing Notorium, and his book is about, if you had to choose your tool of power, it's sound. It's your music. It's your voice. I mean, how poetic and beautiful is that? But yeah, I don't want to give too much away because I'm not supposed to tell everything. So I'm trying to like keep within the contract. But yeah, I wanted to tell you guys, make sure you check out AHR Visions. We even have the 8 that's out there. Very post-apocalyptic kind of thing going on. So I definitely think you guys should check it out and be on the lookout for us. Period. Because we're taking over. You know, we're gonna sit down next to DC and Marvel and be like, oh my god, guys, how you been? But yeah, I just wanted to talk about AHR Visions, and I hope you guys like this episode. I know it's a little bit all over the place, but I mean I'm pretty happy with it. I hope you are too, and make sure you check them out. Trust me, you won't be disappointed. And if you have any ideas, because I'm also his social media marketing manager, and I also scout out for people who have great ideas, please feel free to message me or email me. Everything's in my channel, and the links are in the description, and send me your stuff. If you got something going on, I want to be able to show it to him. Yeah, because he's full of ideas. And by the way, Writ Ralph has another Spanish hero coming. It's gonna be worth it. He's in the 3rd wave. It's gonna be worth it! Whoop, whoop. Thank you so much for watching. Make sure you subscribe to Apple Bites. If you're not an Apple Bite, you're going to become one. I mean, it's not gonna kill you. I mean, you see my face? It's over there. Yeah, that little button there. If you click it, don't lie, because you're on your cell phone. I know this. So just click on it and go click, subscribe. If you want to check out one of my other previous episodes, you could check it over there in the lower corner. Isn't this great? I'm so glad they added the end notations. What am I doing? So creepy, right? How do you guys like my new bang thing? Yeah, I bought it, and because my hair has gotten so long I can't have bangs anymore, so I missed my bangs and I made the mistake of buying this stupid thing, and I can't really use it very well, so I probably may not be wearing it, but I may be wearing it only for the episodes. Hope you guys enjoy, and thank you so much. Whoop whoop!